I did have a proper intro planned for today, but then I found out that future Kev is starting a diet tomorrow. So when he comes to edit this, he's going to really hate watching me eat this raspberry cheesecake. Hello and welcome to part 29 of the Bolton battle. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have League 2 games against Wrexham and Grimsby. I've got raspberry cheesecake in my teeth as well. That was probably a bad idea. I don't know why I've just tugged my shirt around. Oh, get myself comfortable. Get myself in the video preparation comfort levels that are required. Since you were last with me, mixed form, as you can see from the colour-codedness. There's been some wins, some draws and a defeat, which leaves us... Oh, wake up, computer. Come on, here we go. Which leaves us with 8 games to go. We are sat in the playoff zone, only by 2 points. 2 points clear of Coventry. Rather excitingly, Salford are also in the playoff positions at the moment. So as things stand, there's a chance that we could have a third search engine optimised episode this season with Salford in the title, so people can find the channel when they're looking for Dr. Benji. You know, it would be very handy if we played them again in the playoffs. Let's just leave it like that. But we've got a little bit of work to do before we get to that point. As you can see as well, Mike Berry has made his way onto the assists list. He's got the third highest assists in the league. Considering I was a little bit worried about him and how he would adapt to this division, it's quite encouraging to see that now. And he's actually carried on his assist every other game thing that he had working for him last season. So I think it's safe to say he's adapted, which... Looking at this, see, he's only a good player for National League side. So for him to come in, get all those assists in this league, imagine what a proper League 2 left back could be able to do for us. So first of today's 2 games, we're playing at home against Wrexham. Wrexham are the top of the table team, which, you know, if I was a professional, that might have been what I led with rather than a cheesecake. But I seriously had to eat them up. There was 3 of them in the fridge, and they all had to go. So Wrexham are top of the league. We should get an absolute battering today because they're quite comfortably top of the league. I mean, they're, 8 points clear of Northampton in 4th place. They've pretty much got automatic promotion sewn up. Unless someone comes along and spoils it all for them today. So this is the team that we're going to try and do that with. We've got Crabbe in goal. Grocott is finally fit again to come back in at centre-back, alongside Roberts and Alwinson. We've then got Berry and Jennings as our wing-backs. Swift and Gooden, let's hope he is, in central midfield. With Quinn in behind Grant and Bye. I know I promised you Luke. And as you'll see, he's not actually even on the bench. Because he's had a hissy fit. Or he had a hissy fit. Let's see if he's still in a grumpy. Actually, he's not in a grumpy now, so we will put him on the bench instead of Carl Howe. But straight after the last episode, he came to me and had a grumpy and started stamping his feet and asking to leave because he wasn't getting any football. But actually, having seen that he's no longer in a grumpy, he can come back onto the bench. He still hasn't played a game since you last saw him play, I don't think. So it's been a long time since Luke's set foot on a football pitch. Maybe he'll get to do that today. Grant is coming into better goal scoring form than he has been all season now, and Bye has started scoring again as well. So seems sensible to just keep them both in the team. We're actually favourites against Wrexham. Look how far we've come. This is all very exciting. I mean, it was only 20 games ago where we were... I don't know about you lot, I was pretty convinced we were going to be relegated. And here we are, playing against the top of the table team. We're the favourites. We've got a chance to get promoted ourselves. Back-to-back promotions would be insane. And what kind of pass was that from Grant? That was just rubbish. We looked like a relegation team again there. What I didn't mention at the start when we were looking at the league table, because I don't want to think about it at the moment, because it quite frankly is ridiculous. Wrexham are in, and oh wow, they have just absolutely carved us open, which makes it even more ridiculous to talk about what I was about to talk about, but I will do anyway. At the start of this match, we're only 4 points off of automatic promotion. So a win today, I mean, the ridiculous could happen. But look at this passing from Wrexham. To be honest, I would say we got some suspicions of offside there. Hopefully it's going to be one of those times where we get the press conference after the match. They asked me to comment on it. I'm due a touchline ban. I don't think David Chapman's had one yet. What just happened? They're in again, and they should be 2-0 up, because that was a good chance. It really came from a mistake from Jennings. Grant's picked the ball up quite deep, found Gooden, let's hope he is, out to Swift. The ball's just sort of pinging around like a pinball in there, and Wrexham have come free with it, and they've sliced us open again, and Crabbe has made a fantastic save. That might be very important as we get further into this game. Albinson heads clear. Wrexham are absolutely all over us here. We have not even had a shot yet. We're only on 34% possession. I'm just hoping they can't keep this level of intensity up for the whole game, because it's mad. I don't understand. I mean, yeah, they are runaway leaders at the top of the league, so I suppose it's not that mad. But still, they're scary. Well, I mean, we're half an hour in. We're one of the most attack-minded teams in the division. We've still not had a shot on target. Right, let's have a go now. Berry with the chance to cross. He finds Swift. Quinn. Berry. Oh, that nearly made it through to Bye. And look, we're passing it around now like a proper football team. Gooden's in. Bye hits a rebound. We're 1-1. Again, massively against the run of play. Gooden showing that he might well be by forcing the save out of the goalkeeper. Look at this, Gooden in loads of space. I mean, that's a fantastic save actually, because the keeper was beaten, but he could only drop it onto the feet of Russell Bye, who is back in goal scoring form. It's 1-1, and that's the sort of thing that should knock the stuffing out of Wrexham, because they have been all over us throughout the entire half, and we're going in at half-time level. We could go and nick this in the second half. We're not going to go in level, are we? Because they're going to carve us open again. Here we go. Oh, Crabbe with a fantastic punch clear. It's not enough, though. I reckon he was offside again. It's the same fella. And suspicions again. I mean, he's just... he sniffs around the whole time. I mean, he's actually well onside that time, isn't he? I'll let him have that one. But the other one, he was offside. I'm sure of it. Talk about stuffing being knocked out of you. Russell Bye's picked up an injury as well. Just as he started scoring goals again. An upper body injury. I mean, what is that? What's he done? We'll leave him on for now, because I don't see how an upper body injury is going to stop him from scoring goals. Unless he's planning on chesting him in, maybe. Or I mean, does head count as upper body? They'd be more specific. It was the head. What did Roberts just do? Why would you let the ball bounce there? Oh, we have got away with it twice now in this game, and somehow we're still only 1 goal behind, with every chance of breaking back into the game. But Wrexham should be home and dry. We're relying on a lot of luck today to stay in this. That's just bounced back off the post, and Bye couldn't quite get the ball to run through for him. Gooden does find Bye, though. What can Bye do? Finds Jennings. He needs to get himself into the penalty area now, and Wrexham are countering on us again, and they just have men over. I don't think 3 at the back is a very sensible formation to play against what's effectively 4 up front for Wrexham, and they always have a man over. But because I'm tactically inept, I'm going to do nothing about it, even though I've recognised an hour in that it's a problem. And Wrexham are now 3-1 up, and they are playing some very good football. I mean, look at that. They've just shown Mike Berry really isn't a League Two defender. He's got a cross on him. You run at him now, and he'll just hang his leg out there. You can either run past him or fall over him. He's either getting booked like he usually does, or you're going to get a cross in and they're going to score a goal. We expected to lose this one. Don't worry. Right, we need to take Bye off. We're going to bring Luke on. This is the first time he's played since before Bye and Grant were signed. We're going back to sort of August, mid-September time, since Luke last appeared in a Bolton shirt. And he's back. Right, Albinson can come off as well. He's not having a very good game. Dodge can come on for him. If Luke can go out there and get a hat-trick now, then I probably should have been playing him all season, shouldn't I? Grant is struggling as well, actually. I might just bring Friend on as well, because this was the strike partnership I had in mind at the start of the season, and this is the first time they've ever played together. We have Luke and Friend. It sounds like a children's TV programme. Let's hope it... I mean, if they're as good as some children's TV programmes, we'll be quite happy, won't we? Nothing's happening. I mean, they're playing like 2 players who've never played together before. I'm still choking on cheesecake. Goodness me, have you ever seen a man choke on a cheesecake he ate 10 minutes before? That was ridiculous. I hope I edited out the bit where I went purple. Future Kev, edit that bit out. Still a bit purple now. Anyway, let's continue as if nothing happened. There was no choking there. We were getting back into the game, I think, and Luke and Friend, everyone's favourite TV show. I mean, the choking's actually... I'm sweating behind my ears because of that choking. It's ridiculous. I had to drink 3-day-old flat Coke Zero just to stop myself dying in front of Football Manager, which, let's face it, is probably how I'm destined to go. We've lost that one. I'm going to go and have a drink of water, and then we'll go and do the second of today's 2 games. You lot have no idea how much I'm regretting that cheesecake now. Goodness, whose idea was it to have a cheesecake in the... Oh, genuinely, you don't know how close I was to dying. There's no, I mean, I'm in the garage. You know that from the Q&A yesterday. There's no one in here to pat me on the back or anything like that. Right, this is the team for the Grimsby game. We've made some changes because we need to win, and we were torn apart by Wrexham. So, Dodge comes into the back 4. Obi comes in at left back, not deliberately, but Mike Berry. Hold on, Mike Berry was suspended. Ignore me. Thought Mike Berry was suspended because it had the yellow thing, but that just means he's still got one left, doesn't it? I know how the game works, honest. LBC and Martin recombine in midfield for the first time in quite some time, but you know, they worked last season. Perhaps they'll work this season. Gooden, I hope he is going to be in behind a front 2 of Grant and Friend. Mainly because Russell Bye is going to be out for a couple of weeks with, I mean, it's a bruised rib, for goodness sake. He could play. So Friend comes in for Russell Bye. Means we can have Dave Mitchell and Luke on the bench. Another partnership from last season that could come on. I mean, it's looking a lot like last season's team, really. Probably didn't need to sign all those players in the summer. Could have just signed a couple of strikers. That's probably all we needed. Who'd have thought that's what we needed anyway, especially with all the goals we scored last year. But shows how good last season's signings were, that so many of them are still around. He says, before we get absolutely battered and need to bring in all the new players for the next game before we fall out of the playoff spots. There's a little gap forming between the top 5 and us, Salford, Coventry, Birmingham. I mean, everyone else, basically. I could read through that whole league table, but it's up there. You do it yourself. But Mansfield are 6 points ahead of us. Northampton 7. No, I'm reading it the other way now. And we're now 8 points away from automatic promotion in Mansfield. So, that we talked about it in the last match. That's probably gone now. Friend probably should have scored there. Jennings takes the corner. Cross comes in. Grant Albinson, that felt like probably should have been a goal. It's looking like there's a sort of Wrexham are runaway leaders, and there's 4 teams battling for the other 2 automatic promotion places, and the 2 that don't make it will fall back into the playoffs. And the playoffs could be sort of any 2 from us all the way down to sort of Carlisle in 13th, really, are still realistically going to be looking at the playoffs. So it's going to be quite an interesting run into the end of this season. But what we can't afford at this point is a second defeat on the bounce, because that's a good way to find yourself not in the playoff picture anymore, because there's a lot of teams sort of sniffing around behind us, ready to leap in and take our place. We look like, looking at the stats, which we don't do often enough, but we've had a decent start to the match. We're still not getting the amount of possession I'd like us to have, but we're at least getting some shots away today. Getting a couple of corners. It looks like it's a fairly even match, apart from the fact that Grimsby are just controlling possession, but Grant's got in behind there. Martin, he hit it's like the angle of the post and the crossbar. We'll see where he hit in a minute, because Sean Friend turned in the rebound, and we're 1-0 up, so we get to see a 3D replay. Let's see where this shot went. I think it's hit right in the join between the two of them, which is probably going to mean it hit the advertising board or something. So here's Martin teeing up his shot. Where does it hit? Crossbar, maybe even a save from the keeper, but Friend comes in. I don't know why their goalkeeper's trying to... he basically lifted his foot up to get it out of the way. He's allowed to use his hands. Someone should let him know. If he'd just stuck his hands down there, it'd still be 0-0. But as it is, I was about to say we're going to go in at half-time in the lead. I made this mistake in the last match, and I've made it again. I stopped myself from saying it and still said it anyway. We've got 5 minutes left. We're not going in half-time anything at the moment. And here come Grimsby. Grant's got the ball back though, finds Martin. Berry's in lots of space there. What was he even thinking? I mean, I don't understand what just happened. There was no one to be on the end of that cross, but it bounced back off the crossbar, and Friend really should have turned that one in as well. We should be 2-0 up, but Mike Berry that was mental. I don't even know what he was trying. It must have been a mishit. He couldn't possibly have been trying to score from there, but it bounced back off the crossbar. So, 45 minutes to go. We are in the lead. We just need to keep this up because everyone above us keeps on winning, but the ones below us seem to be cutting us a little bit of slack, which is handy. I thought Berry was going to get himself sent off there and everything stopped, but apparently it was the highlight ending, which is preferable because as we're all aware from my pre-match incompetence, Mike Berry is only 1 yellow card away from a suspension, and he usually gets a yellow card, so it's coming in a minute anyway, which is a bit of a shame. But when you can't tackle, what are you going to do? Right, Aidan Grant is injured. It's that's all I needed to give me an excuse to bring Luke on. We're going to swap these two over, and we're going back again to the pre-season partnership that everyone wanted to see. It's Luke and Friend. We need a theme tune for that probably. Ideally, they'd play well together first so that it would happen. It might never happen again after this episode. Now I don't know whether to call it Luke and Friend or Cheesecake or something like that. A decision to make on the episode name. You lot already know because you've obviously seen it when you were selecting the episode out of your subs box, presumably. I'd like to think that's where you're finding my episodes. If not, there's a subscribe button down there that you can hit. Right, Dodge not having the best of games. Grocott can come on for him, and we will save our final substitution for a minute or two. In fact, there's a new signing sat there on the bench that I haven't told you about yet. He's only on loan. He's a right wing back. He's called Enrique Alonso. He's on loan from Huddersfield, who've just bought him from some Spanish club for like 350,000 and then immediately loaned him out to us for the rest of the season for nothing, which seems a bit odd. But it does mean we've got proper backup to Glenn Jennings now at right back. Alonso's played a couple of games as well and seemed to have done quite well. That's a beautiful cross from Mike Berry. Luke is in for his 4th goal of the season. That was simply breathtaking. It's not often I agree with the commentary along the bottom, but look at this for a cross. This is an absolute beauty. As we can see, Mike Berry has picked up his yellow card, so he's going to be suspended for the next game. But that cross was about as perfect as a cross can possibly be. And Luke is finally back in the goals. We can all stop chanting his name now. I suppose you start chanting his name when he starts getting back in the goals. This is the guy who's just signed. We'll bring him on, actually, so you can have a look at him. Enrique Alonso, was at Racing Santander. They've signed him for quite a lot of money. In January, this wasn't a pre-season thing. He's played a few games for Racing B this season, and they've just chucked him straight out on loan to us. He's only 18 and looks a bit special, in a good way. So we'll bring him on for Jennings, and you can have a little look at him for the last 10 minutes of this match. Hopefully he'll do something magical and we'll go 3-0 up. I like the fact that Luke and Friend have both... see, I told you that would be a strike partnership. It might have taken 9 months for it to come to fruition, for them to actually get the chance to play together. What's happened here? I don't see how that's a goal. Where's Crab while this is going on? Right, the corner comes in. Let's have a proper look at this. Crab sort of... Someone want to let him know there was a corner? And then he fell over. Right, we've got 5 minutes to hold on. Because if we end up with just a draw from this game... look, Grimsby are right... you can't even see them. I'm in the way. They're behind me. They're that far down the league. They're in 22nd place. This won't be good if we don't beat them. We've got 30 seconds to hold on. Luckily, we've got the ball. Let's keep it that way. LBC to Martin. Why do that? We've just given them 10 seconds to score, but luckily, they somehow, when they're 1-0 down, took more than 10 seconds to take a goal kick. So the full-time whistle goes. We pick up the victory. We stay in 6th place. We have actually increased the gap. 3 points now in the playoffs. At the start of the episode, it was only 2, so one has to call that a successful episode. If you've enjoyed today's episode, I've said episode a lot there, make sure you pop a like on there, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.